to the Scamslam channel. I'm here to bring you content from both shady and some not so shady individuals on TikTok. Ever scrolled through your For You page and come across a sketchy scam or a questionable character? Well, you're not alone, and that's where I come in. On this channel, I'll be diving deep into the world of TikTok to expose scams, scammers, and problematic content to steer clear of. From beggars, scammers, fakers, liars, abusers, and awareness creators that you watch, I'll be here to share it all. I'll be doing it all through showing live streams and adding in comments where appropriate. Be sure to look out for those red flags. So if you want to stay informed on what's really going on in the world of TikTok, then hit that subscribe button and join me on this wild ride. Let's expose the truth together, and reminder, don't send money to anyone on TikTok.
You can hold it.
You hold.
Oh, you want me to hold it? Yeah. Just go ahead and how's everything been for you?
This is awesome. It's awesome, and it's overwhelming too, because I didn't plan it. And as a believer, I think God orchestrated it. I'm thankful that God helped me give the right answer. And I think it was because the baby, I'm a great-grandpa, the baby hits me every time. And in this, God has given the church an opportunity, a platform that we can touch the world. And this has caused the world, literally, to put finances in our hands. I tell my church that money moves ministry. So the money that has come in, which is pretty substantial, is going to be used for ministry. It will not be budgetary. It'll be used for what it was sent to do in this community. I don't want to say church, but in this community. We're in a really troubling time in our nation. And the most troubling things to me is that a kid could starve, that a kid could not have the formula they need. And when I heard that, I didn't know how to say no. I guess I put it that way. I wasn't feeling spiritual at the time. I can't say I felt God leading me. I think God He helped a poor old country boy say the right thing at the right time. And because instead of messing up like I generally do, maybe I got it right. And now a bunch of people, from widows to little babies to hungry families, especially in this season, when this season from Thanksgiving to Christmas is family. And this will let a mama set her kids at a table, and who maybe couldn't afford a turkey, she has a turkey. Maybe all she would have had was a can of chicken noodle soup, but now, because you caught an old man, now they can have turkey and dressing, and as a kid earlier, I didn't have that. And turkey's my favorite meat, so it's going to be a good time. But more than anything else, I hope. I'm a 41-year pastor, and we get institutionalized in our church sometimes. And if everything's going good here, it's easy to forget about the kid that's coming out forward, the widow that's stretching $600 or $700 a month pension just to eat. That has to go to the grocery store and look at every item and compare every price when she needs just to be able to go because she's tired, she's wore out, just to get what she needs and go home. Maybe this will change things. Maybe as many views we had around the world, and the love I've heard from people, and we've talked, it's been all races, it's been religions, all religions. I heard from a Quaker, and I talked to a lady in England, two people in California, all over the United States, and I think God has given us a moment in time, an opportunity, and this may be the last opportunity to get it right. I think it's a second change. But if we lose this one, the world doesn't trust the church. I'm going to be honest, they don't trust us. They think we're irrelevant. They really don't think we care. Or I know this because I'm hearing this in the comments that come to me. I didn't realize that till this last week that they're really not sure that the church cares. Maybe somebody will say, maybe they do care. And maybe somebody else will walk in the church door they never intended to, and they'll tell this story, and they'll spark something in that church that says, we got to get out there too. Because Jesus said to go into all the world, he said. And when he said preach the gospel, I remember he said to the poor, I'm a blessed man. I've lived a good, full life. If I die tonight, I don't have any complaints. But I pray that a video, which I don't understand, I don't understand viral, but I pray that where it's went to, that people's lives are changed. I pray people that profess Christianity as I do have come awake like I have, even more, and I felt like I was awake, but even more now. I asked the church today, and I brought a can of the formula to the church, and asked the church, what's our plan at the bottom of the can? And we're going to figure out how we can reach out on a continuing basis, that we will set things in order, whether it be a model or not. Maybe it'll spark other churches' interest, and all of a sudden, one more time, we'll put our arms around sinners. They may not agree with this, but they get just as hungry as we do. They might like what we do, but they get cold in the winter. We were made, Jesus said, bear one another's burdens, fulfill the law of Christ. I read a post a while back that said we were made to carry burdens. I told my kids a long time ago, I said, put me in the nursing home when you can't take care of me, just go and get on with your life. They wouldn't do that, I don't think, but I realized something, that we're made to carry each other's burdens. And maybe this is what we're doing here. The poor we have with us always, the Bible told us that. But God didn't tell us to let them starve. Don't condemn them saying they made bad business decisions. Third world countries are not making bad business decisions. They're just trying to survive a day. So God, I pray around the world, but here at home, God, because we have the resources that we change people's lives. I'm thankful for this opportunity at this age to be able to do something which I believe can be significant in the kingdom. I thank this young lady for, though she got me a little. There's a scripture that says all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. I pray nobody goes to bed hungry tonight. Nobody goes to bed cold. I pray, I know it sounds impossible, that nobody sleep outside tonight. Use us for your glory, God. Thank you all for giving me your time.
All right, so I want to go on to asking questions. So I just wanted to say that we are total opposites, okay? We addressed this in church. Well, he addressed it in church. So I have tattoos, lesbian, liberal. So he's not. Very conservative. But I do feel like the churches that did say yes was a MAGA church, okay? A black church, a Hispanic church, and an Islamic church. So I do want to point out that I feel like we need to stop dividing us. And if I can come to his church and we can find some unison, we need to work together. But we also wanted to address the churches that said no. Honestly, I haven't been trying to focus on them because it was depressing, and I've been focusing on the churches that said yes. But I would rather not think of everything in a negative way and be mean to those churches. I would much rather us go, okay, like, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all have room to grow. So this is a learning lesson for all those churches to just go, okay, like, we didn't say the right thing. We're taking accountability for that, and we're going to make the necessary changes to move forward. And he has some stuff he wants to say, too.
I want to say that I personally know the church, the pastors of the churches, and I accidentally got it right, I guess. I want to think it's part of how I was raised. But these are good men who have funded not only ministry in this town, they've helped homeless people, they've helped hungry people, They do much of their ministry through organizations, and there's a process. And I honor that because I'm blessed to pastor a church that gives me the liberty to minister. It's not one of us better than the other one. We all have rules we live by, and we don't always like rules. But if we didn't have them, it'd be chaos at the stoplight in town if we didn't have rules. So, my brothers, if people took it wrong, I'd offend you today. I know you're men of God. I know you love God. And I've not always done it right. I'm going to try to be better. And I think we're all going to be better. We're going to be better together. God bless you. I love Somerset, Kentucky. God has given me a forever home here. God bless you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions really quick before we get off? She said, may the congregations move to churches that do provide for the body and the soul of the people. He's so precious. I love him. Thank you. No. Okay. A collective hug for our new papa. Oh, yes. Come on. Yeah, we got a picture earlier, too, that I'll be posting. Yeah, so, yeah, with everything that happened, though, like, none of us expected to go viral or to be this big on it, but I do just want to express that we do need to come together and unite and find ways to fix these problems and just grow in general. So, yeah, and if you all want to donate, y'all can go to his webpage, and he does take donations on the website. If y'all still wanted to donate. Oh, I donated too. Okay. Well, thank you all. I just wanted to let y'all see him in person. Well, kind of on person on live. All right. Bye. Hello. I think your name is Lily. That's awesome. Hold on, I'm trying to keep up with these. I'm trying to read them. They like go so fast. So I did try to call Hindu temples and I could not get anybody on the phone. I don't know what other religions like times are where they're in there, like if they're only in there certain times of the days. And I didn't want to leave a message in case they like was looking me up. I don't know, or if they seen it and they're like, oh shit, that was her trying to call. And I did try to call a synagogue too. So I was trying to call as many different types of religions too. So oh, hi from UK. That's awesome too. I called a bunch of mosques, but only one of them called me back. Even he didn't answer when I called. He called me back. So I didn't get any more callbacks. That's the reason why I say it's not fair to say we called one mosque and he said yes compared to all the other ones that we called a bunch of and it was mixed. So that's the reason I was like, it's not fair to say that. Like, it's great, like his response, like, hey, whatever. And honestly, I have a personal experience with a lot of Muslims and they're the same ways. Like, they, no hesitation, would help you and give you the shirt off their back. But still, I can't speak and say that in this experiment that I have anything to judge it off of because I literally was only able to speak with one. And I did try to call Jehovah's Witnesses too. It was the same thing. I couldn't get anybody on the phone. And I called multiple days. The same with the satanic temples. I couldn't get anybody on the phone. Somebody said on here, I heard a prophecy about this a couple of years ago. It was about churches being exposed. Can you test my church? I'm not testing any more churches just because they all know about it. If you all want to go out and test your churches in your local towns, I mean, you can try it. But honestly, like, I don't think I don't think you would get it like an honest response at this point. I think most of them have seen this or heard about it. I mean, it's blown up. Honestly, like, I don't feel anything like outside in like the normal world. Like, it's only if I come to TikTok then I'm like, okay, everybody's talking about it. But like, once I shut off TikTok, like, everything is normal. But I think for churches, I think everybody's like talking about it because they're all scared, or not probably scared, but like just being aware and like preparing for it, you know, because nobody wants to look bad. I get that. Well, that's cute. Whoever sent that was super cute. try LGBTQ centers. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't see the reason why churches was different than calling like LGBTQ is because to me I feel like they have the obligation to help, whether like just a bar and a club wouldn't. But it was gonna be cool to like test that theory, and I was gonna call some like at nighttime on Friday and Saturday night. But then I was like, how am I gonna ask them to go get formula? Like, I live in a town that like all the stores are closed after like 9 or 10. Like, nobody would be open. So I was like, it's not even realistic to ask them to pick some up for me or get some for me because they would be closed. So it was a little bit harder to try to test them just because of the hours versus like calling during the day and somebody could have something picked up. So that was a little bit hard. I seen somebody say hi. I saw you today. Hello, Ella. Yeah, I met a few people today that see me in church this morning. Y'all, I normally don't leave my house. Like, I am like a hermit, I tell you. Like, I literally just do not. So me coming out today to go to church was a rare sight. I'll just say that. And do you think you would do social experiments like this again? Yeah, I do plan to do more experiments. Not this type, like the baby thing, but definitely something else. And I already have one in the works. It's just, I'm going to leave churches alone for a second. It's similar, but not the churches. So we're going to test. No, I'm not calling any more churches right now with this experiment. This experiment it's going to be closed. I do want to go visit the other churches that did say yes, or like at least get them on the phone and talk with them, because I do want to see what impact they have and also what changes. Because even the church I went to today, your Appalachian Papa, like, he even has changes in the works, because it is really eye-opening, and he brought awareness to the fact that he just got lucky that day. Like he said no 1,000 times before to people, that's called in asking for help, and he was like, you just caught me on the right day. And so he's already making changes to where this wouldn't happen and nobody like falls in the cracks, because that's like been the big eye-opener even for me, is that there's people that's falling through the cracks. And whether it's through the church or the government or these donation sites, like, we have to fill that void, and we have to figure it out, and we have to work together to figure it out. It can't just be on the churches, it can't just be on us, and it can't just be on these donation sites. Like, we have to come together. That's the reason why I made the video saying that, like, we're not going to get anywhere if we just keep pushing back against each other. Like, we have to come to like some point where we're like, okay, like, push everything aside, let's start from scratch. Like, what are we going to do to fix this problem? Like, we're just really not going to get anywhere that's going to benefit anybody at all if we just keep with the negativity. So, like, I'm not trying to like control what people feel or what they do, because I'm even mixed on my emotions. Like, I get mad when I watch the videos, just like everybody else, because I'm just like, it's a baby. It's $17 in a baby. And so it is hard to watch the videos, and it is hard to see people say no, but at the same time, I'm thinking long term, like, there's a real need here, and we're not going to fix it by fighting with each other. Yeah, it's a baby. Like, it breaks my heart. Like, I can't even deny that. Like, they were in the wrong, the ones that said no. Like, there's them doubling down. I will say that somebody just sent me the video of a pastor today, just right before I started this live, and I guess I'm a witch and the devil. But his whole sermon, like, even he was like threatening people that might have came into his service today, from TikTok. And I'm just like, that's no way to rebuild yourself, or like, hey, I would respect you a lot more if you said no and you came in and you're like, look, we failed there. We found an error. It's been shined on us. This is what we're going to do to fix it. We apologize, and it's not going to happen again. I would much rather see that than them trying to double down and spread more hate. Because why? Like, what is that going to get you? It just makes you look worse, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't make you look good. Hold on, I'm trying to read it. Yeah, there are people in the same situation that weren't and still didn't get help. Yeah, exactly. I know, and it's so sad, because honestly, the best thing I can tell y'all to do is have something in your community set up to link families that need help and people that need help with people that want to help, and connect those people together. Like, adopt a family, adopt a person, and help each other that way. We have to build our own little community and our family, because, you know, back in the old days, it was like you had your community and everybody helped everybody, and we just don't have that anymore. Like, you don't have it to where you can just run next door and be like, hey, I need XYZ, or hey, I need help with rent, and somebody's there to help you, or food or dinner, you know, something like that. So we have to come together, and the only thing I've ever seen that's worked is the adopt a family, because you see what you're pouring into, and you know that it's not a scam. You know who it's going to. So even if you give to churches, like, you don't know where that money's going. You know, even, I mean, if you drop off like donations to like a food bank or something, you know, you're pretty sure that that's going to meet people. But if you're wanting to actually help people, I would look in your own communities and, you know, see who needs help, and just adopt a family all year round. You know, help them with birthday presents, help them with Christmas. And it's not even something you have to come out of pocket for. You can easily be like, hey, look, I adopted a family last year. Their kid's birthday's coming up. You know, I don't have the money. I need people that want to, you know, donate some birthday presents. This is how old they are. You know, that's the community we need to build. Yeah, I thought about calling satanic temples. I only was able to get the number to one, and they never answered. A lot of them, for safety reasons, don't post their phone numbers and addresses online. In Islam, we have to give whoever asks for help. Yeah. Yeah, Islam, like, y'all are absolutely sweet. And ask Scientology. Yeah, I never got around to calling you. I was going to call some Monday, but I don't know if they're going to know about this yet. When formula was put into locked cases, that was the biggest sign of how the world was going. Yeah, formula is expensive too. Look, I'm over here like $17, $20. Like, and then I finally looked it up online. It was like 30, 40, 75. I was like, that is crazy. What made you decide to start doing this? Like, what led you to your initial thought? Honestly, so I started this, not this past Friday, but the Friday before last. And that Thursday, I was on the phone, and I was like, I'm just going to start calling churches tomorrow and seeing if they would actually help somebody in need. Like, it was just a random thought. That's the reason, like, I am spiritual, so I felt like I was called to do this. Because, like I said, I had 300 followers. I didn't think anybody was going to pay attention to my post. So it was crazy. But yeah, I mean, literally, I just wanted to see for myself, honestly, like, if they would help. You know, with everything going on, I'm like, if somebody really was needing help, would they help? And I wanted to be proven wrong. I said that in my initial video that I wanted that. So by now churches have definitely called on. Somebody said, can you start calling police agencies and fire stations? No, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm pretty sure I looked that up, and like with ChatGPT, and it says it was illegal. Somebody said on here, are you a Democrat? I'm not anything. No, I didn't like Biden either. I'm for people in general. I will pick the better party. I voted for Kamala this last time, but I don't label myself Democrat. I'm just for the people. I vote for the people. Can you start asking why not when they say no? A lot of them said why not. Like, a lot of them was just like, we don't have the budget for it. We don't do that. We have to go through a process. Like, that was going to take 3 days or weeks. And yeah, a lot of them just said that they couldn't do it. It was sad. I felt like the more calls I made, like, the longer I tried to, like, are you sure you can't get it? Like, you can't talk to somebody, you can't ask somebody. Or in the beginning, I was like, oh, you can't get it? Okay, bye. Like, I was literally trying to get them to give it to me. And I want to explain the process, too, because I think a lot of people that was, like, anti me doing this wasn't getting the point, because they're like, well, they offered you resources, so they did try to help. Okay. My whole experiment was, if all resources are gone,
Okay, so it's not they can go to a donation site or to these resources. No, I wanted to see and test to see if the church, knowing that all resources was gone, the only person that could help was this church, if they would help. That was the whole point of the experiment. And a lot of them still said no. Knowing that there was no other option for this baby to get formula, they still said no. That was the point. That's the reason why I said no. It wasn't because they gave me resources. I can throw resources at somebody all day. That does not mean they're going to get formula. So imagine a mom, they're like, okay, well, you give me these resources. I'm going to call all these resources. They're done. You get off the phone, you call back. Either that church is not going to answer, or they're going to sit there and go, okay, well, now we can't help you. If you called all those resources, we're not going to help you. So I just shortened that experiment by saying I already called them. They don't have any. Can you help me now? And that was the whole point of it. How do you say your name correctly? People keep calling you Natalie. It's Nikale. So somebody did make a video. I was on my way to the church this morning, so I didn't get to respond back to her because I think her name is like Nikale or something. And so she was asking me in that video, but it is Nikale. So yeah, I'm not calling any more churches though, unfortunately, just because everybody's caught on. Like, everybody knows about this now. So definitely won't be able to, not on this experiment, I definitely won't be able to. Yeah, they don't have a problem asking for money. I just feel like, I mean, I've seen some people say that they worked in churches and they have like these little petty boxes for emergencies. So I don't know why some of them were saying no. Like, I really don't. I just hope that it's something that they learn from and, you know, fix, because nobody should go without. Somebody said, thanks for what you're doing. What motivated you to call the churches? I honestly just wanted to see if churches would help somebody in need, because we get told all the time, call the churches, call the churches. I am a drug addiction counselor. I don't know why somebody got that confused on here too, saying I've done drugs. I've never touched drugs a day in my life, but I did lose my stepmom to drugs back in 2011, and I lost my, or 2012, and then I lost my best friend to drugs. So that's the reason why I went into drug addiction counseling. So I've never done drugs, but I do help. But yeah, a lot of my own patients are being told to go to churches to get winter coats and to get food and everything else. And they get told no all the time. So to me, I just feel like if my patients are being told no, I want to see who else would be told no. And so the only thing I could think of, like, what's the hardest thing somebody could say no to? A starving baby. That was my mindset. Like, if they say no to a starving baby, like, they're not going to care about me. They're not going to care about you. They're not going to care about a 7-year-old, 8-year-old. So yeah, that's the reason why I chose the baby and stuff like that. So hold on, I'm trying to go back up. I worked in drug and alcohol for 15 years. It's eye-opening stuff. It is really heartbreaking. I have patients right now that they don't have anywhere to go. Like, they're living outside and it's cold, and, you know, they don't have winter coats. They don't have nothing. And it literally breaks my heart. And to know that they can't get those items, to know that they have to, like, jump through hoops to get services or to get any kind of help is so sad. And then there's amazing sources out there. And I do want to say this too. If anybody else has patients or in drug, like, I don't know, I found an amazing resource, but I think it's probably only here, but it's Care Source. But yeah, it's disheartening though. I wish more churches would open up their doors to people that are homeless too. I have a very soft spot for people that, you know, don't have any place to go. I don't feel like anybody anywhere in the world should be homeless or hungry, but especially in the United States. We're too rich of a country to have people living on the streets and have people going hungry. How did I go from military to dancer to masters? No, so I got pregnant at 16. I had my daughter at 17. I was working like 3 jobs to provide for her, and then this lady who was like 60. She was like in her 50s or 60s. She was dancing, and she talked me into dancing. And then I was able to quit all those jobs and, you know, just work nighttime so I could spend the whole day with my daughter now, you know. So I started dancing when I was 18. And then I joined the Army when I was 23. And then when I got out, I didn't dance for a long time. And then when I got back to Kentucky, I danced for like 2 more years, and then I quit again. And then went back in and started working on my master's. So I don't feel like anybody should be ashamed of where they came from. I grew up really, really poor. I want y'all to know that. Like, the ugliest trailer in the trailer park was what I grew up in. Like, we did not have money. My mom went all the time without eating to make sure me and my sister got fed. And we relied on food stamps too. So like this whole government shutdown, like, I mean, my mom had food stamps back when it was like the paper money, you know, because I'm old, I'm like 41. So, yeah, like, there's people that really, really depend on it. And I was one of them when I was a kid, you know, like, and it was embarrassing to have to go to school and not have food, you know, but thankfully, like, they had like the free reduced lunch or whatever, so I got to eat at school. But sometimes that was the only food I got. So helping people and knowing people struggle is really, really a big passion of mine, because I know what it's like. I grew up poor. You know, I didn't even live in my first house until I was like in my 20s. Like, before that, it was always trailers. Like, not even pretty trailers. Like, not pretty ones. Like, the ugliest one in the neighborhood was mine. Little V single wide ugly ones. But you know, that's made me who I am. So I think that that's what made me more compassionate, I guess, to other people in those situations. You should start a series on their responses. I'm gonna make sure that I interviewed the Appalachian Pepaw today, and it was on my live, so I am gonna go back in and put that on here so that you all can see it. And then after everything, I'm gonna come back and like make a video of all my responses and stuff, and just like where it ends up and like how I feel like everything went, and then how they are doing. We are poor and hungry only because my mom was an addict. My dad made too much money for services. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. Life in general right now is really hard, and I'm really sorry that you're going through that. How are you doing? And thank you for what you're doing. I have a lot of emotions, to be honest. Like, I'm sad, but I'm also happy about the ones that said yes. And then I got the positive on one side. Like, I got people like telling me I'm doing what God wants, even though I'm not religious. Like, I still believe that there is like a higher power, and I'm spiritual. So I feel like I got people over here, and I got people over here telling me I'm a devil. So it's just like, it's weird. It's like, okay. So that's weird. And then it's weird to watch like people get backlash, and then also watch people get like the positive side of it. And I guess I'm an empath, so I can resonate with both. And then there's times I watch the videos and I get really mad and like sad. And then I can also like feel empathy for them and compassion and be like, we are all human and we all make mistakes. So you might see me go back and forth a little bit, but it's just because like, it's hard for me to stay mad at people, because I do just try to find like the good in everybody, and at least be like, you can grow and we can learn and we can fix this problem. Why would it be anything bad to do this? It's literally what people do, is call for help. I think they're just mad that they got put to a test and they failed it, because the ones that passed it are happy right now, you know, like, you know, they're getting blessings, and so they're ecstatic. I think that's why I was like focusing more on them, because it was just like positive vibes, and I try to stay away from like negativity. And then like, really today, no, I seen something like a little clip or like a comment from one of the churches. I guess a pastor had put something out in like a text or something. And then I watched the video right before I did this, where they were telling me I was a demon and not going to live and a witch. So how did you initially feel about the Islamic Center saying yes? Did you have any judgments before? No judgments. No. I actually have a few friends that are Muslim and the sweetest people I've ever met. No judgment at all. Honestly, like I was like, I knew I knew they were at least going to say yes. I didn't know how quick he was going to say yes, but I didn't have any doubts that they were going to say yes. I'm not saying that they're all like that. I know that there's good and bad in everybody in every religion, but I didn't have any doubts. Muslims get a lot of hate because of 9/11, and honestly, they shouldn't. That would be like us judging every white person or every black person or every Hispanic person for something like a small group does. Like, I'm not about that. I've seen somebody say they're pro-birth, not pro-life. Oh, I don't know if you're talking about the churches. Hello from Delaware. We don't have any money for Americans, but we have money to send to Israel, billions. Israel breaks my heart. I don't understand why we're doing that to Gaza and why we're even being a part of it. Like, I cannot watch those videos. I do watch them and I share them all the time. Y'all probably don't see it on this TikTok because my other one, I posted all the time about Gaza and Israel and Trump and all that good stuff and all the stuff that's going on with the deportation. So they banned my account at like 20,000. So I had to start this one. Do you think that the church that said no would now say yes? I think all of them are going to be on their P's and Q's, honestly. I mean, I think that's every church, not even just the ones that said no. I think even the ones that said yes, like, because I mean, I get the fact that like the person answering the phone, they do represent the church and stuff like that, but I do understand their logic that we can't hold the whole church and congregation responsible for that one person. So I do get that. But at the same time, it's like, how do you handle it afterwards, though? So what they do afterwards with what happened is what I pay attention to, because that shows me your character. Because if you come out the door like swinging and like not taking accountability for it to fix it, because to me, if somebody did that at my job, even if I owned a business and they're like, somebody messed up, I'll be like, okay, like, look, that's on me at the same time because that's my business. And I take full accountability. I'm going to talk with them, you know, do what I got to do. And then that problem is going to be solved. So to me, in that aspect of it, when they start doubling down, they're like, no, she's lying, or it was a scam, or we knew it was a scam. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We all heard the videos. But when they do that, or they come back out with a hateful message, you're supposed to be a church spreading love and compassion and empathy. You're supposed to be the one forgiving and bringing light to people, not that. So that is wild to me. You have the most beautiful eyes. Well, thank you. They're hoarding money. I think a lot of them definitely are hoarding money, especially those. Look, I have no sympathy for the mega churches. Them both ones I think hung up on me, but I don't know who. I know one of them was a mega church, but I don't know if the other one was that hung up on me. But I don't have any. I care less about them. I care more about the smaller ones that said no, because I feel like they're going to be the most impacted. But yeah, I feel like they definitely need to fix what's going on, the issues in their churches and who answers the phone. Yeah, it's on Facebook. I wasn't posting on Facebook not until I think yesterday. I started posting the videos the day before yesterday, but I've only posted like a couple of them, but they were already being shared in the groups because I hit local like churches here, and so people were tagging me in like the groups, and they're like, oh, somebody shared. I'm not even in those groups because I'm new to this area, so they're like, oh, so and so shared you in this group your video, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, I did call Joe Osteen's. His church said no. I seen somebody's message. Hold on, I'm trying to scroll back up. I sent you a message about what happened when I shared your video in the local group. Okay. In these days, religion and churches are two different things. I'm from Romania, and it's the same here. Hey, Romania. Look, I know you're not on here, so I can't hear your accent, but I love Romanians' accents. I'm just going to say that. Y'all have a beautiful accent. Yeah, I'm not calling any more churches. That the gig is up on the churches. Like, I'm sorry. They all know. They all know. I'm pretty sure, like, the majority of them are probably already in there, like, we know. We're waiting on her call so we can say yes. So I just don't feel like it would be authentic at this point if I called more. Our church is doing a food drive for our community, and after watching your videos, I made sure to. That's awesome. I only spoke with one mosque, and it's because he called me back. None of the other ones answered the phone either, and none of them called me back. Why have babies if you can't afford them? Well, you all are making it to where people are being forced to have babies, first of all. Like, let's be clear about that. There's plenty of people that can't afford them and know that, and they try to fix that with their options that they have, and you all say no. So you can't sit here and say anti-abortion, and then we're also not going to help you in a time of need if you need help. And then you also have to think about it. People are losing their jobs left and right. There's places out here that say that they're hiring, and then you go and they're like, oh no, we just keep the sign up all year round to where we can get applications and then hoard the applications. Okay, so they're not really hiring. You have food prices that went up. Like, prices of everything has gone up like crazy because of these tariffs and because the economy has crashed. You can't sit here and blame people when minimum wage has not went up since I was a kid, and I'm 41. And it's still $7.25 for minimum wage. How are you going to sit here and point fingers at people who are struggling instead of the big wealthy people who are making money off of us to struggle? I don't understand your logic. Like, I would love to sit down with one of y'all one day and try to understand where your logic come from, because it's like, even when y'all sit here and you're like, oh, stop sending money overseas. We need to take care of our veterans. We need to take care of our own people. We need to take care of this. But even if you don't, like, you literally flipped the script when Trump came in, because now he's sending billions to Argentina while taking food out of our own people's mouths at the same time. And you're silent. Like, make it make sense. You either want people to have babies and you force them to have babies and then you help them, or you let them make that choice on their own. You don't get both. It's like you all just want to see people suffer to where you can sit there and point your finger at them and be happy that they're struggling. Like, it does not make sense to me at all. I have a friend that has 3 kids. She could afford food till 2 months ago. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, fine, Jesus. I'm not religious, but thank you. Did you call any African churches, like in Africa, or African American? Yes, I called African American churches and Hispanic churches. You are either overqualified or underqualified reason to not hire you. Yeah, I've been told I was overqualified plenty of times. Can you call small town churches? I doubt they've heard anything about the cause. Oh, they have. I live in a small town. Trust me. A lot of the small towns that I called are very aware. They want to blame the poor and not the greedy rich. It's sick. Yeah, I don't understand it. And just because I feel like people should be able to afford to eat and live and get basic necessities doesn't make me a Democrat. I already said I'm not a Democrat. Okay, I'm just for the people. I am a veteran. Like, I literally served for y'all to have these things and to live a good life. Like, it should not be like this. Before, like, people could survive on a 1-income household. Like, I remember when gas was like $1.20, and this stuff that's going on is like not okay. Even when I got my first apartment, my first 3-bedroom apartment was $300 a month. That's how much my apartment was, and it was a good apartment. Like, it wasn't anything. You can't get that anymore. You can't. You cannot find that anymore. And it's not okay. People have to work. You have couples that are living in a house and they both have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive, to feed and support their families. Imagine what a single parent is going through. I grew up in a family of 8 in a 1-income household. We didn't have much, but it was doable. Exactly. There's no way you could do it today. No way. Yes, my first trailer in 2017 was a 2-bed for $400. Yeah, like things used to be so much easier and so much better, and people were happy. People were going out. Like the economy was great. When you make things affordable and livable, the economy flourishes. But when you start getting greedy, that's when you notice everything starts tumbling. So, yeah, I called Joel Osteen's. His church said no. One church did offer to help you. Show us that video. It's on my recent. I don't know which one you're talking about. I called a lot of churches. Was you treated good today? My son is a Marine. Yeah, they treated me good. Yeah, I was. As soon as I walk in, he's like, we're total opposites. When I went to the pastor's church today, the Pepaw one, he was like, you're a liberal with tattoos, a lesbian, like all this stuff. And he's like, and I'm MAGA. He's like, we have totally different views. And he's like, but here we are. He's like, a can of formula brought us together. So, like, that was really eye-opening, to be honest, because I never would have thought I would have stepped foot into anything MAGA. But I can't ignore the fact that when I was on the phone call before I knew that he was MAGA, I was like, oh my God, he's so sweet. Like, I can't take that away from him, you know? So I feel like we have to look past some things in this moment to come to that middle ground, because that's all that I was thinking about while I was in his service is like, I'm called here for something. Like, this has got to mean something, you know, because it's got to. Like, it has to have a purpose. I feel like everything always happens for a reason. I've always said that, and I'm just trying to figure out what that reason is myself. MAGA needs to understand the harm that they're doing. Yeah, I believe that. But what I think most is like, nobody's going to listen to what we have to say, and there's not going to be any like compromise if we're butting heads. We have to sit there and go, okay, like we can find a common ground with feeding babies. Let's start with that common ground and then work our way out to how can we change things and do things better. Because I feel like there has to be some kind of communication and starting point, because right now we're so far apart that like nobody's listening to either side, and I feel like we're not going to get anywhere like that. I honestly don't know what the whole purpose is of this, or like what I'm supposed to find out in this whole experiment. I'm just here trying to figure it out myself, but I do feel like there is a message in there somewhere, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is. I'm not doing churches anymore just because they're all like figuring it out. I'm pretty sure it's gone viral everywhere. They're proving they don't want to work with us. It's you reaching out. Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on MAGA, okay? Let's change the subject. I have my views. I have my views. I'm with y'all. I honestly don't know what to do. Like, I've been fight, and it's exhausting. It's draining. But as a veteran, I'm just like, they're using soldiers to attack civilians, and I can't get behind that. And I just wish that people would open up their minds. And I feel like if we can get them to listen, then maybe they would listen. But I'm only talking about one person, so maybe it's me, not them. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just open my eyes up a little bit more as far as not judging people just by their, I don't know, y'all, I don't know. Because I can't get behind all the immigration stuff. I can't get behind all the racism and the Yahtzees walking around and like the Yahtzee salute and all that stuff. Like, I can't. I just... So I do have an next social experiment in the works. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want anybody to start doing it. But it is a good one. So hopefully it doesn't cause this much drama. Hopefully. I don't know. I want more positivity. Like, I don't want the negative vibes. Like, I want people to be like waking up. Like, I honestly didn't even think this one was going to like bring drama. I honestly didn't. But yeah, I want positive. I just want people to open up their eyes about stuff. Like, oh, okay, like that's something like crazy and that we need to fix or that we need to pay attention to. Yeah, I did have a Catholic church that helped. My son said, "You're the new, what would you do?" Huh? I don't know what you meant by that one. It didn't make sense. I'm sorry. I don't. Oh wait, that's not for me. You expose those who needed exposing. I'm so impressed by your impact. Thank you. I literally say all the time that it only takes one person and one voice, and so this was like crazy because it literally just did exactly what I always say. Yeah, because I hear people all the time saying it's just me. I can't do anything. I don't know what to do. I'm just one person. I always say like it just takes one person to make a change. Joe Osteen refused to use his church when there was a hurricane as well. Yeah, I've seen people making those comments in his reviews. Americans finding out that their propaganda actually was bullshit and they're in the wrong. They're not going to admit they're in the wrong. Yeah, it literally is of each one of us. I love what you're doing. Have you called any Greek Orthodox churches? No, I didn't get around to calling any. You have 1.8K. How do you feel about Epstein files? Release the files. Like, y'all want to get me into politics so bad, and I'm trying to like stay positive. I will tell you right now, I'm not MAGA. I don't support anything that MAGA supports. I am drop Epstein files ASAP. Stop covering that up. Anybody that supports PEDOs, like you're just as bad as them. Like, stop what's going on in Gaza. Feed those babies. Like, that stuff breaks my heart. This whole thing where Trump is attacking and unaliving people out at sea, you cannot do that. It's illegal. Like, you're breaking the law. The whole constitutional rights, the whole kidnapping people on the streets, like all this stuff. I'm not for any of that stuff. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not, what, I'm literally just for the people. Whatever helps the people and is good for people, that's what I am. And this is not good for people. Like, it's not. That service today was the first church I've attended in over 30 years. Aw. I haven't been to a church in a long time. Like, it has been a long time. I think the last church I went to was probably like in 2012 or 11 or something. I was still in Japan, maybe. I think I was in Japan. The ICC will catch up to his human rights violation. Yeah, they need to do it ASAP, though. Like, it's taking too long. I'm not doing any more churches. I see people requesting churches, and I'm not doing any more churches. Just because, like, everybody knows about this so far. I knew you were for the people when you started calling them out for being pro-life. Why you don't look into calling mosque for supporting pedophiles? Huh? Why you don't look into calling school? No, I'm not doing any more churches just because they all know about me now. It's all, like, when I tell you, like, it's all over Facebook. I don't know about other states like out, but I know that there's a bunch of states like I can't call. But yeah. You're a tattoo collector, that's what you are. Yeah, I have a lot of tattoos. I think your next experiment, you should record all the calls and then release them all. You're notorious. Can you do a video with all the churches that said yes so we can donate to them, please? Yeah, I can do that. I can put all of them in one video for you. You're all over Australian TikTok For You page. That's awesome. That's wild. That's awesome. Tattoos typically mean safe in my experience. Not usually here in the U.S. Usually you get judged immediately, especially if you have a neck tattoo, but I love that. I was logistics, so I was 92 Yankee when I came into the military, and then I switched over to recruiting the last 6 years I was in. I tried to call some Jehovah's Witnesses, and I couldn't get anybody on the phone, which was sad because when I said this on one of my other lives, but when I was pregnant in South Carolina, this lady used to come to me all the time to check on me, and she was a Jehovah's Witness. And then she had me go to her church after my little one was born. So I went in with 2 little babies, and they have like a separate room that like parents go to with their kids, but it's like a glass window so you can like watch the service, which I thought was really cool. That way your kids, like, you don't have to shh them all the time. But yeah, it was really interesting, and she was amazing. She was so sweet. She didn't know me from nothing, but she came to my house one day trying to get me to come to her church, and saw I was pregnant. And then after that, she would just come bring me stuff and check on me, and just, she was really cool. Yeah, I was in West Columbia, South Carolina at that time. So I was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So I was stationed in Japan was my first duty assignment, and then I went to Missouri, South Carolina, and then Kentucky. And social and fraternal clubs are also tax exempt. Call them next. When does Americans realize that every mega church are a bunch of grifters? I guess now. No, I think everybody kind of already knew, like, the bigger ones wasn't going to help. Are you in Kentucky originally, or did you end up here by grace of luck? So I was born in Kentucky, and I left when I was 15, and then I came back in 2020. I think you should keep calling, because if they hear that you've stopped, they'll step back. Babe, you're trending everywhere. How's it going? I mean, honestly, unless I get on TikTok, I don't know. Like, it's not like a big thing, like, in my town. Like, I live in a really small town, so like nobody like talks about it. But TikTok is crazy on TikTok. Like I said, I had 300 followers last week, so it's crazy. Are you afraid of the churches coming after you now? I mean, they're already calling me a witch and the devil and all these things. I'm not worried about the churches. I think people have a hard time with criticism and, having a mirror in their face. So, did you see the blatant lie Waverly Church of the Nazaret Post in response to your video? No, I haven't. No, I'm not religious. I am spiritual. I do believe in a higher power, just not the Bible. No, I don't know how, like, if it hadn't been recorded and posted, I just don't understand, like, how they're going to defend it and, like, twist that narrative. That's the reason I'm like, if y'all was to come out and just apologize and be like, I'm going to fix it, I'd have way more respect for you. It's the lying. I was like, so now you said no and you're lying. So it just looks worse, in my opinion, for me. How did I come up with the idea? So I knew I wanted to call churches, and I honestly just wanted something that I thought, like, would be so hard to say no to. Like, what would be the hardest thing I could say no to, And I was like, who could say no to a baby? A hungry baby. And it's super easy. It's something that, they wouldn't have, like, on hand. So it would test their empathy and compassion in their heart, to give. Because to me, if somebody called me needing formula, like, I'm going to go get you formula. What do you mean? I'm going to DoorDash it to you, something. So it's something that they would have to actually act on to get you that formula. And if they didn't do that act, then to me, it's like, then you're giving me the knowledge. Like, you wouldn't go out of your way to help somebody. It's easy to be like, oh, go to the food pantry. They got like food there all day long, you know? But something that they have to go out of their way to go get on their own, not something that was donated by another member of their church, that is something I wanted to test them on to see if they would personally help get you that. That's the reason why I'm like, y'all don't understand the assignment if you think that it was just, oh, I'm going to send her to a food bank and that's helping. No, because that's somebody else helping. That wasn't the church helping. They might have like organized it, but they didn't supply it, you know? So my whole experiment was to test if they would come out of their own way in their own pocket or whatever, the church's pocket, to get a baby formula that hadn't ate all night. So that's where I came from that. And they still didn't do it, a lot of them. I thought for sure once I put the baby crying in there, they would do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I knew most of them wasn't going to have it. That wasn't the point. The point was, are you going to go out of your way to go make sure a mother does have it to feed her starving baby? When you called Denver, Colorado, I knew they wouldn't help. The church has gone away from what Jesus wants. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them have. Like, it's crazy. How did she make them look bad when they refused? Yeah, like, and I was so nice, you know, like, I didn't say anything, like, that was crazy or, you know, mean asking them. I was just like, I'm just trying to feed my baby. Like, they chose their response. You know, we have to take accountability for our actions. Like, there's no way around that. They only care about the baby before it's born. Yeah. And so God said, only help Christians. I love what you're doing. Are you not afraid? Or am I not afraid they'd be sued for defamation? No, because I don't feel like I defamed anybody. I literally put the recording out there. They said what they said. I didn't change what they said or anything. Like, it's out there. What do you think about the criticism you get when you think we think it's dumb? Please try SDH. The criticism, honestly, I mean, I get why some people wouldn't want their religion or their churches criticized or tested. I understand that. But at the same time, like, would you not want to know if your church is failing in an area, or if they wouldn't be willing to help somebody in need, or if there's a flaw in your system to where a starving baby might actually die? Like, to me, I'm like, this should be an eye-opener, because a baby, if she hadn't really gotten the help, could have possibly been unalive. So it's like, why would you not want to just go, okay, like, that's a huge flaw. Why would you not want to fix that if you have that flaw in your church? So, I mean, I understand why people are sensitive. You know, nobody wants to be talked negative about. They don't want their church to be talked negativity about, or like their religion. But it's not a religion thing. You know, this has nothing to do about the religion. It's about the people in the churches. So yeah. The internet is saying you had a bad run with your own church, so you think, I don't even go to church. Like, I don't go to church. No, honestly, the last church I went to was when I was in Japan. I'm pretty sure that was the last church that I went to, and it was right after I went through like a really hard time, and I tried to unalive myself because of the stuff that was going on in the military. It was a really, really hard time for me. And the first person that I saw when I woke up was my pastor in the military. And so he was amazing. Oh my God, I loved him. Like, I was spiritual. I still went to church, you know, because every single time I went, I was like, I feel like they're talking to me. And I've been to a bunch of churches. I never had any bad experiences with a church ever. So that's not why I did this. And I support everybody's religion. I'm not even anti-religion. If you are Islam, like Muslim, like whatever, Christian, Baptist, like whatever, I support all y'all. Believe what you believe. I just personally just believe in a higher power, and I don't believe in the Bible. Like, that's it. Like, but that's my personal preference. It's not that I'm out here attacking other people or downgrading their religion. I feel like if that's what gets you through and that makes you happy and that's what you believe in, have at it. have that, because who am I to tell you what to believe and judge you for believing that? Like, that's not me. Like, I have no ill heart at any religion. Like, I love Muslims. I love, Christians and Baptists and everything. Like, I don't have anything against anybody's religion. I just personally just don't believe in it. Because I'm the type of person, if I had to pick a religion and I could follow all the rules, it would be Muslim. But it's just because, like, I love how they actually follow through with a lot of what they say to an extent. Just because I'm gay and I'm not changing that. But it's just like, they're so sweet and they're so kind. So I really appreciate how devoted they are. Islam, yeah. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry. The Quran. I'll just say the Quran. But yeah, no, I don't judge anybody's religion. I didn't have any bad experiences with churches. That's not why I did this. It was not literally attacking churches. That's not why I did it. I was just curious if churches would help people that was in need. The one thing we don't have in common is I'm not a lesbian, but seriously, everything. That's okay. Exposing the scam couldn't come at a better time. Yeah, because it's sad. Like, the government's shut down. Like, people were losing their snaps, and they're like, go to the church. Like, the churches aren't even helping. So what are these people supposed to do? And then you got Trump out here appealing, like, the whole SNAP benefits. And I was just like, these people are supposed to just starve? Like, it's madness. People are always recommending churches to people on our local page, and they never do anything. I'm not going to say no churches ever do anything. I have seen a lot of churches help. I'm really picky. If I go to church, even though I'm not a believer, I still go. I still like the message, depending on what church it is. I'm really picky, though. If I walk in that door and you don't come up to me and you don't hug me and welcome me, I'm probably going to walk away, because I get really, high anxiety. So if I don't feel welcome, or if I feel like I'm the oddball, I'll leave just because of my anxiety. But if I walk in and it's good vibes, which is most of the time is Hispanic churches and Black churches, I love them because their vibe is always really, really good. But yeah, I'll go just to get the word. And they're always amazing. Are you getting a lot of hate? I don't really see it a lot. I mean, people send me stuff where people were saying something. I'm not on the side of MAGA though. They're not on my For You page. So I think maybe that's why I don't see a lot of it. But people will message me some stuff, and that's usually all that I see. On Facebook, I see more of it, because I don't get as many messages and stuff on Facebook as I do on TikTok. I tagged you where you need your help, and Tennessee needs your help. You're a beautiful person. Thank you. Hold on, I'm trying to go up.
Why?
If you had asked the churches for a formula or money, your results would have been much different. I don't know what you mean. I did ask them for formula. I didn't ask churches for money. I asked them just for a small can. I even told them in the thing, if you just get it, I can come pick it up. Would you test recommendations? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Do you think calling them versus going there was fair? I mean, they were in different states. It's not like I can just pop up. And then I also think, too, why would somebody that's really needing formula for her baby be in the car driving around from church to church to church, from resource to resource to resource? I'd be on, even if I really did need it, I would be on the phone calling places before I left and went. I'm not dragging my baby out hungry to go to 20 places, to figure it out. So I was trying to put myself in the position. Sorry, my kids are screaming. They're crazy. I was putting myself in the position of a mother really trying to feed her baby. I'm not leaving my house to go run around 50 places. Do I think they would have helped me if I showed up with a baby? Maybe. But the fact is they still heard a baby on there, and they didn't do it. It says live will end and... Okay, hold on. But the fact is they still said no. I can't say if they would have changed if I was in face-to-face with them and they saw it. I think logically you act different more if you see something, so it could have potentially changed. But I mean, I can't go to different states overnight, so I just feel like people shouldn't have to do all that either to get the help, especially from a church. It's sad, and people that are members of the church always have an excuse on why they won't help. Yeah, that was sad. Right, and it's not like we can go to urgent care for formula because of healthcare costs. Yeah, like, it's, y'all, it's crazy. It really is, and it's sad, and it's heartbreaking. I'm glad I don't have a baby, because babies are expensive. Like, my youngest one, his birthday's tomorrow, so he turns 8, and I'm just like, thank God. Like, but it's heartbreaking for those that have babies. How was service today with Papa? It was great. It was really sweet. Like, I was really moved about how impacted they were. I hadn't got to talk to him. I did, before I went today, I had, like, on TikTok, spoke to his daughter and granddaughter, but I hadn't spoken to him yet. He doesn't do social media or whatever. And I was trying to go live with y'all, like, when I walked into the church, but when I got in, he was very emotional and didn't want to go live yet. So I got to speak to him, and he was very humbled by everything and just appreciative. And then he was just like, don't talk bad about me because I'm MAGA. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm judging him off of the response of the video. And I'm like, I'm not judging you by your beliefs today, just because, like, that has nothing to do with what happened. I really feel like me and him were meant to come together for some reason. I don't know. I'm trying to still figure it out myself. But just because, like, we are polar opposites. So it was just, it's crazy that a thing of baby formula. He even had, like, a little thing of baby formula in there for me. So it's funny. MAGA, like, the Republicans. I'm sorry for those that's not from here. MAGA's like Trump supporters. Big Trump supporters. For churches who refuse to help, I really think you shouldn't say that it's a social experiment. See, I wasn't in the beginning, and then people requested that I did tell them, and then I started doing that. So I was trying to go off of what people wanted on that. Are you still going to continue with this series? I'm going to add... So, I didn't post all the videos from Friday, y'all, because I'm not going to lie, they were all no's. I'm not... It was depressing. Like... If it had been, like, yeses, I would have posted those, but I didn't post a lot of the no's. It's emotionally tolling on me. Like, I'm just... Yeah, it's hard. It really is. It's hard to see people say no to a baby. Like, I was like, who's going to be able to say no to a baby? Like, that for real. I was just like, there's no way somebody could say no. Especially when I put the baby in the background. I was like, there's no way. No way. And I kept making the baby worse. Like, I started off, I was like, is the baby hungry? And then I was like, he hasn't ate all night. Okay, well, now it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, he's starving. He's going to, like, I don't know what else to do. Like, and they still would say no. Like, it's sad. You became popular everywhere. I know. I think there were talks of lawsuits because churches are getting hates and threats. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't condone that stuff at all. Like, the hates and the threats, like, that's the reason why I'm like, no, I don't like that on either side, because we're better than that. Like, we're supposed to be better than the other side. Like y'all, like, don't do that. That's the reason why I'm like, leave a positive review and leave 3 changes. That's my take on it. Y'all free to do whatever you want. You're your own person. But for me, I'm just like, I'd rather bring positivity and change than bring negativity. But definitely not the threats and, you know, the violence and the hate speech and stuff like that. Because that doesn't help anything. And honestly, like, I feel like even the people that send that stuff to me, like, I'm like, why? Like, just because we have a different view and, like, we didn't agree on something, like, there's different ways to communicate in a positive way versus a negative way. So, we're a nonprofit and food pantry and feeds babies and families we would have run to feed a baby. Yeah, no, if anybody's learned anything from this, donate to your food pantries. And, I mean, you can still donate to your churches if you want, but I'm just saying, like, definitely the food pantries. Somebody said, thank you for your service. Thank you. What's something you've learned through this experience? Today, definitely. Like, I learned that we can be as different as can be and still find a common ground, which was a baby. And that was like, I was literally just sitting in the church pew, like, what is it I'm supposed to learn from this today? Because somebody that's against everything I stand for and I'm against everything that they stand for, but yet we both agreed on a baby, is just like, we, as different as we can be, we can still come to a common ground somewhere. And that's just why I'm like, we have to figure out where to go from that moving forward. Have you noticed one religion being more willing to help? No, because I don't feel like I caught enough of like the more diverse, like the other religions more than I did like the Christian churches and Baptist churches. So I can't be authentic. It'd be different if I was like, 10 Muslims or Islamic churches or whatever, and then like Catholics. Like, it'd be different if I did it that way. But where I was just like getting a hold of whoever I could get a hold of each one, like, it wouldn't be fair to compare if it's not the same amount of number. And then you got to think about the areas too. So I don't think it's fair to judge like the religions. I think it's more of just like people's compassion and empathy, like their heart and where the people are at. Anything you would have done differently? Like, I feel like everything happens for a reason, so I don't want to say it like, yeah, but if I could have done something differently, it probably would have been like to call a bunch of them ahead of time so they didn't find out quicker, and then start posting them a little bit at a time. But yeah, that would probably been it. But if your religion really practices and teaches empathy, that would show. Yeah, you'd think so. I know, I keep going back and forth. I tell you, you're going to see me go back and forth because I'm just like, damn, it was a baby and it was a crying baby. Like, it's hard. I didn't have any Muslims say no. I only called one mosque though. I only talked to one mosque and he said yes right away. So I can't compare that. I can't, because I didn't get to talk to any more. Can I join live? Yeah, if you want to. Y'all can join live if y'all want. I've just seen people going back and forth in the comments. Sorry, I'm having to scroll. I got stories to tell you with shelters. So tragic how many no's I got being homeless and a baby years ago. Yeah, so that's like one of the things I'm trying to like do here, way before I ever even started this. So because I work with a lot of drug addiction patients, some of them have kids, and when they go into sober living houses or when they go to rehab and stuff, like, they don't get to see their kids. So I really want to start up like a sober living houses for families to where they don't have to separate. So that's what I've been trying to get going here locally, just to try to help families and help them stay together and also get sober and stay clean. So, but yeah, the shelters, I hear so many horror stories about shelters. Hello.
Hi. Hello,
Hey.
how are you? One games, Star.
Hey.
Star, me, I'm from Syria. I live in a camp. I need help for eat my family, please.
Hey, how are you?
I am good.
Good. I don't know. Somebody
How are you?
requested to come back up on here. I'm good. You said you're in Syria?
Yeah, I am from Syria. I need help for eat my family. Look my house. Look, I am a refugee. Look, please,
Oh.
I need help. Tell you people help me for eat my family.
Yeah. Do you have, I don't know how you send you money.
Tell you people gift me.
I don't even know how to do that. I'm new to this. I knew this.
The blast is done. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Did you see the experiment, or you want to talk about that? I don't know. Look, I'm new to this whole thing, so like I don't even know how to work it. I just got on to be able even to do live like the other day. I think I've been on live like 3 times. Hold on. Y'all, I have no clue what I'm doing right now. I may be wrong, but that's what I've always, I've read a lot of it. So I'm sure you've been asked before, but how do we make a request? I'm not doing any more churches. I'm sorry. Just because I feel like they all already know about everything. If it didn't blow up anymore, I was going to try to call some Monday just to test. But yeah, I definitely think they all know. Do I know lesbians aren't allowed? Yeah, I do. That's the reason why I said I would tell, like, if I had to choose a religion, it would have been Islam. But I was like, I'm not gonna stop being gay though. So I was like, they have too many rules. But I do respect them wholeheartedly because they literally live by what they preach. Like, they do all the prayers. They literally everything that they're supposed to do. They live by it. Like, I respect them for that. As a child that came from poverty, I appreciate everything you did. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was one of those kids too. Like, I get it. Same here. I opened a Pandora's box, apparently. I didn't realize how much of it, like, I guess I should have known, like, how touchy of a subject it was going to be. I honestly didn't even put that much thought into it to be like, oh, the negative impacts, or like how viral, if it was going to go viral or not, or like people being mad. Like, I honestly did not give it that much thought. I literally was like, oh, I'm going to start calling churches tomorrow, and what am I going to talk about? Like, that was literally the gist of it. Like, it wasn't like this whole planned out thing. That's the reason I'm like, I'm spiritual, so I felt like now I'm like, after everything blew up and it went viral, I was like, maybe it really was like meant to be and it was supposed to happen. I did restart the live. I'm sorry. I couldn't get him off and I didn't know how to like change it or like put him back down. I didn't know what he wanted. He was saying give him something and I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I still don't. Well, I can see, so see, you're not really that intelligent. I don't know what that means because I don't know how to work the live. I don't usually do lives. Thank you. I'm a smart girl to do the social experiment. Thank you. What if you did something else, maybe with a code coming, a place to stay for the night? Yeah, I have another experiment that I want to do, a social experiment. Might need a moderator because of the trolls. Honestly, the trolls don't bother me. I just go past them. I mean, I feel like everybody has a right to their own voice. Like, if they don't like, to me, if they had anything to like add, I would totally sit here and have an open dialogue with people. I just don't do like the hate bashing back and forth. Like, if you can't have like a civil conversation and talk, like, then I don't want to talk to you. Chris, have you called any churches in Florida? No, I did not call any churches in Florida. Could you please tell us how you felt during rejection and during the offer to help? Oh, so I would have a lot of no's in between those yeses. So I'll be like really depressed and sad and like let down, like honestly, like, because every single time I was just like, that baby wouldn't have made it. You know, like, it was sad. But every single time I got a yes, like, I was like, yeah, oh my God, like, thank God. Like, just happy that somebody finally said yes. So, and it's just, I don't know. It was definitely a roller coaster on emotions. I don't like, I understand, like, y'all wasn't making these calls. I mean, I don't know if y'all had, like, the same experience I did since, you know, you all could watch the video. I seen a lot of people was watching the videos back to back, but it's very emotionally tolling. It really is. Would you ever look into Hinduism? It doesn't discriminate against anyone. It's very illogical. Actually, I've never looked into it. It's not something I would be against. I'm open to seeing every religion, honestly. Because even if I don't believe in it, and like it's whatever, I do feel like we should be educated on religions, and know at least something about them. And I think we learn something from every religion too. Call Charlie Kirk's church. I did. He said no. His church said no. I was like, he said. He didn't say nothing, but his church said no. Can you tell us about your experience in Pastor Domo's church today? Yeah, so I was talking about that earlier. So yeah, he was very overwhelmed. Very emotional and overwhelmed by everything. He cried a lot. He was very, very emotionally touched by everything, by like the donations and the calls and like just the outpour of love and support that he got. And like his church was very thankful and appreciative and very welcoming. Like even though we had like totally different views and lifestyles and, you know, like polar opposites, like it was great. Like he was very nice. Like when I went to go do his live and like interview him, because I went live with him, he was like, "Are you gonna say anything bad about me because of our like differences with him, you know, being a Trump supporter and everything?" I was like, "No." I was like, "This has nothing to do with that, you know." Because like to me, like even though he is a Trump supporter, I still just remember like the pep on the phone, like, "Oh yeah, like what flavor do you want?" Like I was like, I can't be mad at that, you know. Like he showed me like his heart and his compassion in that moment, so I'm like, I'm not gonna take that from him, like. I'm not going to do that. So, but I thought that was funny that he asked me that. I was like, no. Almost 100K in donations. I just watched. Yeah. I thought that was crazy. That's wild. Yeah. I think it's amazing. But yeah, he was saying that he had like calls from all over the country too. And I thought that was amazing. Can you please address the fact that some of the people on the other end might be food insecure too? Can you elaborate what you mean? Do you support donating to homophobic churches that spend 80-90% on self-serving salaries? I don't support anybody that does it for self. Why would you donate to somebody that's just going to stick it to their pockets? Like, I don't understand that part of it. Sadly, I wasn't shocked with your results. I know. I really did want to be proven wrong, y'all. And I don't know. I felt let down that I wasn't. There are 4 lines going to follow this one, so pay attention. Okay. I'm trying to decide to take my family for church. Would you call Margaret's of Scott? I'm not calling any more churches just because I think they all figured it out by now. No, I'm in Kentucky. You don't get home insurance for your health care. What made you start the experiment? I talked about that earlier. I was just wanting to see if churches would actually help people in need. I mean, we're being called to ask them for help, and I just don't feel like churches really help the community as much as they say. Well, hello, everybody from Kentucky. Y'all are my neighbors. Hi. Okay, just addressing that people at the church you talk to might also be food insecure. Yeah, I mean, I feel no. So this experiment wasn't. Okay, so for me personally, even if I didn't have any money, any money, and I was working in the church, and I picked up the phone, and somebody said I needed formula for the baby, I'm calling everybody I know. Hey, give me your number. I'm going to call you right back. I'm calling everybody I know. And I would tell them that. The fact that these people picked up the phone and they didn't even care, like, you can tell the ones that sound like they cared and the ones that didn't. So I just felt like they didn't care. Have I heard back anything from the churches that said no, that was positive? No. I haven't really even, the only churches I've even talked to after the experiment is the one I went to today with Papa. I talked to the Jamestown church, and then I spoke with the Islamic church, which I shared with you all. Those are the only 3 I've spoke to so far. I do plan to call the other ones that said yes to see kind of like their impact on everything, but I haven't spoke to the other ones. I would love to talk to the ones that said no and see what changes that they've made and see how they feel about it, you know, or like what they would have done differently, maybe. I just don't think that it would like be, I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't think. I don't know if it would be a productive conversation with, I don't know about all of them, but with the 2 that I've seen, you know, already trying to double down, I don't know if it would be like worth it, I guess. Well, not worth it. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I would be open to it if it was a positive move forward, take accountability. It was a mistake. Like, you know, like, we messed up. We're going to fix it. This is how we're going to fix it type conversation. Make videos addressing Islam stereotypes as Islamophobia is a problem. It really is a problem. I agree with that. I did do a Hispanic church. A Hispanic church said yes. There was one of them. Yeah, I called the churches that said yes was the Pastor Dunbar's, the Pepaw one, a Hispanic one, a Catholic one, the African American one, and the Islamic one, the mosque. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta go feed these kiddos. They're hungry in there. Thank you for bringing this to light. Hopefully it will bring the blind to see what the church does. Yeah. Hopefully there's just positive change. That's all that I want out of it is positive change, ways to go forward. Honestly, I have people in my inbox every day like, what are you going to do now? Like, as far as like change is made. And I'm trying to work with a local place as far as making sure that we have formula, baby wipes, and diapers, and all of that stuff readily available for a mom in need. Because I don't really think anybody has that here locally either. And I think that if you all are in your towns and you call around and you don't have anybody to do, I would definitely press people to start doing that, or you start doing that as well. Because you can link with other people too. So, like other organizations that's already open about starting that. I'm just curious if any white churches said yeah. Yeah, the one I went to today was a white church. Check out pastors' incomes. I don't think I want to know what their income is. That's crazy. Yeah. All right, y'all. I gotta go. If y'all can hear them screaming, I'm sorry. But thank you all for staying on here with me. I appreciate you all for all your support and kind words. And yeah, I will be posting some more, and we'll talk to y'all later. Thank you all. Hey, good vibes though tonight. Like, just stay positive, for real.